Associates of the Week. And this week, we're going to honor all of those who turned out in Washington, D.C. for the march, but in particular, one MIT student who not only attended the march, but is working to fight back against anti-Semitism and pro-Hamas demonstrations that are happening on his own college campus. Let's welcome in MIT student Eitan Moore to America Right Now. Eitan, thank you so much. It is great to have you here. You went down to that march for Israel. We've seen a lot of examples of Jews and Israel being attacked over these last 6 weeks, but what was it like for you to see this kind of outpouring of support?
Thanks for having me, Tom. It's great to be with you guys. It was truly amazing to be part of such a historic event, to be alongside 300,000 Jews, non-Jews, standing together with Israel at such a tough time. After October 7th, we've seen many pro-Hamas rallies on campuses and across the world, and just to come together in a super large show of support was really amazing.
Now, you were born here, but you were raised in Israel. You served in the IDF. How hard is it to be away from home at a time like this?
So it's really tough to be away from home. All of my friends and family have been affected by the situation. I have a best friend whose brother was murdered. I know one of the people kidnapped in the Gaza tunnels right now. So obviously that's taken a huge personal toll, but also just being here on such a toxic campus is quite distressing at times. Yeah. One of the major things that we've seen is this sort of dehumanization of Israelis and IDF soldiers. And it's quite shameful that I and other campuses have seen these groups essentially justifying, but not only justifying, celebrating what happened on October 7th. So to not only have that personal grief, but to have to deal with everything that's happening on campus, it is quite concerning. And I think it should concern the American people in general that a significant contingent of our youth essentially support the rhetoric, knowingly or unknowingly, sort of support this rhetoric or the actions of a U.S. designated terrorist organization. And I think that's something that should concern us, but it's definitely something that we've been trying to battle and fight.
Yeah, we saw that Cornell University professor who said that watching the attack was exhilarating for him. There have been so many pro-Palestine, pro-Hamas, pro-terrorist demonstrations on these college campuses. Talk to us about what you did to try to counter that movement.
I'm one of the heads of the pro-Israel organization on campus, and we've held numerous rallies and educational events just to come together, but also educate about this issue. We've spoken with the administration about different steps that can be taken, but yeah, different campus-wide initiatives and just pushing back on many different levels.
I don't mean to interrupt you, but I want to ask you about the administration at MIT. You've made some suggestions about what to do about students who have espoused this terrorist ideology. What's their response been, and how to deal with those types of those students and those types of demonstrations?
So I think many Jews on campus, rightfully so, feel scared. At the end of the day, you have a group on campus that justifies and celebrated. They explicitly celebrated the horrific actions of October 7th. And you have these concerned students, and then I think the administration means well. I do. I've met with them many times, but they have not been taking the adequate steps to ensure that Jewish students feel safe. And I think at the most basic level, that comes down to enforcing the policies of the school. And that hasn't happened. And it's pretty amazing, honestly. MIT has pretty clear rules, pretty clear policies. And this anti-Israel group on campus has just been repeatedly not following the rules. And the administration has warned them many times, and they haven't enforced those policies even after warning them. So it sort of emboldened these groups and caused some of the Jewish students, Israeli students on campus, to not feel safe. I think any institution across America, whether it be the government or universities, has to be able to maintain their policies and regulations in order to function. And even that on the most basic level isn't really happening.
Well, Etan Moore, you and all of those who attended that March for Israel rally in D.C., you are our Patriots of the Week. Thank you for standing up for Jews. Thank you for standing up for Israel, for freedom, and against terrorism. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you, Tom. If I may, I do want to say one last message
Yeah.
to the viewers at home. I have this bracelet that I always carry with me. It's given to me by my two best friends from the military, Shir and Yali, and it says, "We always stand alongside you." And I want to tell the viewers back home and my friends back in the IDF, my family, that we stand with you, and the American people stand with you. The vast majority of Americans, vast majority of free nations stand with you. So don't waver in your fight against this evil Hamas. We stand with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate that message.
Thanks.
All right.